be talking today about improving global health research in Kazakhstan. The concept of what I'm going to be presenting is global health in Kazakhstan, apple to the world. Now, how many of you know the story of the apple in Kazakhstan? Many of you do. Which is great. Well, the apple, it was in fact originated in Kazakhstan and spread to the rest of the world. And what we want to be able to do is do exactly the same thing, but instead of apples, distributing scientific research, your research. So what I mean by apple to apple is that we want to basically take concepts and strengths from the early history of Kazakhstan and bring it to a new apple, this apple. So bringing research and science to the internet and mobile technology to improve research here, to make Kazakhstan one of the cutting-edge scientific areas. Now, I come from a WHO collaborating center. I had a WHO collaborating center, and I've been doing global health for about 30 years. We started a WHO multinational project for childhood diabetes and had 155 centers in 70 countries. But then in the early 80s, I became convinced that the future of science, my science, genetics, is actually internet and mobile technology, to build capacity on platforms so that we can share our information. So in order to improve Kazakhstan global health, we created already a network in Central Asia of about 1,400 scientists that are interested in collaborating, of which about 800 of them are from Kazakhstan. I think that some of you are already participating on this, and which is great. We wanted to improve training not only in Kazakhstan but worldwide. We have a network of about 50,000 faculty in 174 countries. From that faculty, we collected the best PowerPoint lectures in research design, and we basically share these for free with everybody in the world, so that if you're teaching, you can use my lecture on diabetes, you could use finance lectures on cancer, or anybody else's lectures for free. And we see a major increase in usage in Kazakhstan for this in the past year. And also, we started short-term research training here in Kazakhstan last year. And Fiona is going to be talking about the Central Asia Journal of Global Health. And what I'm going to be talking about is a new adventure that we just started a few months ago, basically designed to improve training and help you get your research published. So the goals, what we hope to do, these are large goals. We want to help you to build a center for global health in Kazakhstan, for Central Asia, and the world. Secondly, to help you double your research productivity in 3 to 4 years, and basically especially designed to bring Kazakhstan up now, where you have the 94th country in the world. Why in 3 years can't you be the 50th country? Why in 5 years can't you be the 20th country? Start to bring you up the hierarchy and work with you the hierarchy of work. And these are some of the people that we started in our seminar, and you know, obviously the person to the left. The person next to him is the U.S. ambassador. And the U.S. ambassador and the U.S. team in general have been very positive and very interested in developing joint collaborative work between Kazakhstan and the United States. So we're focusing on how, because we're from the United States, how can we help you develop your collaboration, and how we can help to build collaboration with you, because that helps me as a researcher too, if I'm working with you all. So the goal is a win-win situation. It's your research, we want to help you, but we want to have everybody getting something out of this. So basically, the concept of the Kazakhstan Center in Global Health is what we want to build. And we see that we want to build this, connecting this with the internet and mobile health. Now, I was really impressed with like Christian's talk the other day on DNA sequencing, and I'm not a person. But I decided that in order to keep the personal medicine people interested, I decided to include my own DNA, which is Apple DNA. And that's what we need to begin to put together in terms of the connection of our different groups. So basically, what we've been developing over the past few years is the concept of a research methods capacity. And I'll be discussing this in a little bit. Our focus has been the Library of Alexandria in Egypt, where we've developed the main center. Our center here in Pittsburgh with Eugene and Faina, your university here, and the idea is what we want to build is a very simple concept, help desk. It's fascinating that 80% of all articles, of all scientific articles, are turned down because of poor research methods. And you look at the criticisms of your articles, the vast majority, even my articles, are turned down because of quote poor research methods. Well, you can't be on the cutting edge of science now unless you have the tools of research methods, research design. And the problem is that most countries across the world don't have these tools. And we coined the term statophobia. The concept of statophobia is very simple. Even I had this when I first started out. Statophobia, this is my word, so please use it all the time. Statophobia is a concept of being afraid of research methods and statistics and not having access to people who can help you. So we're all confronted at some point with statophobia. And so what our work is designed to do is to attack this statophobia, attack this fear. And what we hope to do is to cure all of you of statophobia. And the reason for this, if you look at worldwide, for the person on the right side is a statistician. For every statistician in Kazakhstan, there are about 800 clinicians. Well, and a lot of these clinicians want to publish, but the reality is that they don't have the training in statistics. It's very difficult to get things published. So the problem in Kazakhstan and Central Asia and across the world is there's very little statistical and research design capabilities. And unless you have these skills, or unless you have people that have access to the skills, it's very difficult to publish. So as a result is that many of the articles that we see, and I review hundreds of articles, they're poor research design. And you can't get something published, you have a poor research design, and the analysis approaches are poor. And what will happen then is that you have a very limited scientific publications because you can't get articles published. And there's a vicious cycle for young people. You write a paper, you submit it, it's turned down. You rewrite that paper, you submit it to another journal, it's turned down. You rewrite that paper, you submit it to the fourth article journal, and it's turned down. This is a vicious cycle and a very discouraging cycle of being turned down, when if you actually had some help in terms of research and research design, you potentially could publish. So what we're developing worldwide is a help desk, a very simple concept, and the idea of help building this here for Kazakhstan. And basically help desks are all over the place, and I'm sure you have them here. If you want to have information about your Apple computer, you basically go to a help desk. If you go for IBM, if you go to your stores, if you go to a lot of places. So we really have a very good idea of how to run these industrial strength help desks. But we in academia set up these really small help desks for our own university. Why don't we set this up globally? Why don't we set this up nationally? So here in Kazakhstan, you get a brilliant scientific idea. Oh, gee, I got a great idea that's going to potential Nobel Prize. Then you start to sit back, well, how do I test it? Oh, gee, that's when you start scratching your head. I'm not sure how to test it. Well, at that point, it'd be wonderful if you could go to somebody like me, a gray-haired, no-hair, dyed-hair expert. So, okay, this is the way you do it. I can tell you, boom, 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 boom. And so with just even a half-hour consulting with somebody like me, or Christian, or any one of us, you'll be able to set up the design right in the beginning. So the idea to build a Kazakhstan Library of Alexander's supercourse, which is a help desk for research methods. And we already have set up, and Eugene set this up in a beautiful job. We have this help desk set up, a global help desk. And in the help desk, we also have probably about 1,000 lectures on research methods and statistics. We have some of those in Russian, so you can get a general overview of research methods just from this. But for me, I can't learn statistics just by reading a book. I can't learn by just reading and looking at a lecture. And so we have contact with, for you, from experts around the world, and some here, who can help you. And what we've done over the past few months is basically we've set this up on Facebook, because it makes it so much simpler. Anybody can ask the questions, you have the experts that can answer the questions, and anybody, any country across the world can easily set up a Facebook help desk. And so because of millions of users across the world, and then users from all across the world use Facebook for social knowledge to each other, and now we can use Facebook to answer research questions and methods questions for people. And this just shows you the Facebook, the Facebook help desk that we already have set up, and that we're collecting questions in that people can answer the questions. We're evolving it too, so that you can ask questions in different languages. In Iran, we have our help desk where you can ask questions in English and also Farsi. So the first step is to create a Kazakhstan Research Methods Facebook page to assist researchers here and in Central Asia. We currently have already about 11 countries who are interested in building this. We already have one set up in Egypt, India, Iran, Lebanon, Pakistan, the Philippines, and the Sudan, these Facebook help desks. And these are the people that we will help answer the questions. We have 400 people like me who are experts, happy to answer questions. And then we have the WHO collaborating centers like what I am, who have been involved in terms of answering research methods questions as well. Well, the other thing you have to do is that Kazakhstan needs to take on and be more aggressive in publications. And I love this one. So this is Kazakhstan going after the world in terms of publications, right? Which I thought was cool. And because we all, like Christian and I, we're aggressive researchers, and that's what we need to build here, an aggressive nature towards research, along with having the knowledge. And basically, what I think in Kazakhstan, I don't see any reason with the resources that are here. There's no reason you can't become a global top leader, because in this area of Central Asia, I don't know any center of global health. And here you can become the center of global health for Central Asia, and also the center, one of the main centers for global health for the world. And this just shows you the same thing, apples and applied technology, which I thought this was really cool. So he's eating a Kazakhstan apple and basically going to the moon. That's what we want to do here. Use our apples to share information with each other through this technology and then move forward. Now, this is one of the most important quotes that I live by, and this is Nelson Mandela, as you know. And what he said is that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And I strongly believe that. It's not only education, but sharing our knowledge and working together in networks that everyone will benefit, not just the scientists in Austria, or not just the scientists in the US, but everybody can benefit. So remember this quote because it's a very important quote. Now, I have a final slide, which I don't know if any of you really know, because I love the concept of apples from Kazakhstan. I love the concept of the scientists from Kazakhstan. How many of you know that without Kazakhstan, there would be no physics? You don't know that, even people from Kazakhstan. Well, it's so obvious, because when Newton was under the tree, an apple fell on him. If there was no apple, there'd be no physics. So you could take also apples, the world, hey, take credit for physics as well. Thank you very much.